I'm here.
Ground
I'm here.
control to Major Club. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what he does up there. He does strange things in space. What do you actually do out across it? I know the times is different up there, so like a minute to us here is like maybe a week up there. So what were you doing before you come on?
Nothing. Nothing that
Mm,
you should be
mm.
concerned about.
Zero G. Mm-hmm. Zero G. Big window. I can see it right now. I can see it right now floating
It's not
about. You
advisable to
know,
go at it in zero G, otherwise the fluids would just build up on the end of it.
I always wondered what would happen if you were at it in zero G, right? And you're floating there in your bedroom, just floating about there, and the ship came to a halt. Would you like go thump against the window?
No.
Yeah. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You learn something to do. Who is all in there? We've got Stephanie. We've got Go Squad Scotland, that handsome beast with the lovely hairy beard.
How
We've
drunk are
got
you?
we've got Ken Jackson. Who else we got here, man? Who else have we got? I'm sure I've seen watching the wall too. We've got Christine. Welcome, Christine. We have got what is it? Watcher on the wall. Welcome. See? See?
Hmm?
So how have you been anyway this week? What strange things have been happening?
Well, it seems more like a bunch of insanity involving normal people lately, man. God.
Oh, I know. I know. We just need to look what's happening around the world. But first of all, want to give a wee shout out to a couple of people. One, Pete, son of Mike the Naked Bigfoot, is off in his travels round America searching for spooky and strange things. So, Pete, stay safe out there and don't let Bigfoot do terrible things to you in the night when you're in your tent. Would you like to send to go?
I think Pete would actually be more
I,
interested in that, you know?
I don't know. He might have his paranormal lube. You know, he might have it sitting there in the tent,
Like
ready
glow
for
in the
action.
dark,
You know,
the glow in the
aye,
dark stuff that makes it look like you
aye,
have a little rave party going on down there.
aye. So there you go. Other person I want to give a shout out tonight is Jenny from Emerald Isles Paranormal Researchers. Sadly, her dog died yesterday. Sadly, he was put down. He had cancer, and his name was
Yeah,
Zach.
I heard about
And I
that.
don't know if you've watched when you've watched the show when Jenny's been on a few times. The dog wanders about in the background, and that's the border collie.
Mm.
And poor Zach, but hopefully he's in a better place now. He's no in pain, and hopefully he stays with his mother Jenny and protects her always. You know,
Oh, I'm sure Jenny will be all right.
yeah, yeah. So the subject tonight, what are we talking about?
Well, you well, between everything that's been going on, we need. I think we just need to ask this from everybody. How is everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? Because is it just me, or does everybody have some sort of shit going down right now?
Everybody's got it.
You
Everybody's
know what
got
I
it.
mean?
Hmm. Hmm. Everybody's got it. The new, and I don't know if it's some weird thing that's happening to everybody. There's a lot of people running about me died. As everybody knows, my mum passed away about a month ago, and I was recovering. I was recovering fine because I'd helped for friends and stuff like that, and then I got her ashes in on what do you call it, on Thursday. Oh, what's that? Recovering from yep, but I am good. COVID. Oh, that's terrible. I hope you get better soon. But as I say, we got our ashes back and it sent me off again. But grief's a terrible,
Oh,
terrible thing, you know.
it
But it's not
is.
just that. There's people out there worse than me. There's people out there that's got a lot of problems. You know what I mean?
I know. And you're going into a much wider field of view. There's a lot of people, especially around my age group, who are kind of getting a wake up call behind some of their favorite kid shows. You've been seeing that stuff?
No, do
There's a
tell.
new there's a new documentary series out. I believe it's on HBO Max. That's called Quiet on Set.
Mm-hmm.
And it's talking about, kind of the darker side of kids
Mm-hmm.
TV. Some of the things,
Yeah.
the allegations that have gone down. The first one they brought up was Drake Bell.
Yeah.
You may not know it, but this
I've
might be more Rebecca's age group,
I've
in her
heard the
teens,
name. I've heard the name. Yeah.
where a casting director sedated and sexually assaulted him
That's terrible.
at the where he was at the age of 15. And let's just say there's a lot of, especially after this guy was convicted, Disney Channel up and hired him for another show.
Hi. We all know that Disney. We all know the history Disney's got with kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, what was it you told me about actors becoming actors for Disney? They had to do something in particular. What was that?
There's there's a lot of rumors when it comes
Okay.
to Disney. There's the funny thing is Disney is has some of the strictest background checks when it comes to the business.
Yeah.
Apparently not, but
It's weird you mentioned this tonight because I was watching a documentary tonight about Corey Feldman. You know what I'm talking about?
another.
The child, the child actor for the 80s.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say what happened or that, right? But it involved Charlie Sheen, one of them, and it
Mm-hmm.
involved other people holding private parties. And what he told was absolutely disgraceful. What happened to him?
I
And
know.
they just covered it up. And they just covered. That's something we should try and go on the show. Actually, he does appear on shows. Corey Feldman. Maybe we'll get him
I
on.
know. I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Everybody's thinking, "Oh, that's just stuff's crazy. Oh, that's not actually happening." Look, this is one of those cases where so many are coming forward, and it's not like it's just a bunch of faceless people. All these cases where you do have individuals who are having allegations come up against them from people they never met.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's so much information, and all these people are providing the receipts, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Let's
We,
say like one of my favorite comedians. He's followed me for a couple of years. His name is Gabriel Iglesias. He was on a Nickelodeon show in his early days.
Mhm.
Wore a wig. He was telling the story that he wore a wig, went out on set, getting all excited, getting ready to shoot a show. There was a beam that was hanging fairly low,
Mhm.
and because of this wig he had on, he couldn't see it. He ran full force into it to where he knocked out, had to go to the hospital. And Nickelodeon's first move was providing him papers in like non-disclosures, and you know basically saying he couldn't sue them for what had happened
Yeah.
while he was in the hospital. Not that checking on that if he was okay, none of that. And he was
Yeah.
fired shortly after.
Yeah. Look, this is what people don't realize. The movie industry, they don't care about their actors. They don't
No, they
care.
don't.
All they care about is the dollar signs. They make billions out of certain movies. They make hundreds of millions. I mean, if you get like Harry Potter and you get like the big movies and stuff like that, they make billions, right? You think about all the stuff they sell after the movies. They don't care about their actors. The famous actors, they care about, but the ones that are no famous now, they don't particularly care if anything happens to you.
Well, you got to take into consideration, going back to the whole Nickelodeon thing, that was the 90s. That was when Nickelodeon and Disney are practically neck and neck when it comes to their franchises. When it comes to stuff like that, you have to kind of sit back and wonder, were those shows really being targeted towards kids?
I can't watch cartoons anymore for Disney
Uh,
because I've got a friend. I don't know if he's watching tonight. His name's Lewis, and he showed me like some videos. Would you call them? Like if what to look out for in the Disney industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was on YouTube. You can see that stuff on YouTube. And see now, I can't watch any cartoons now because there's so much image. There's so much there. It means stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and once you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
I know.
Yeah. Have
Yeah,
you heard about
it's
the? Yeah. When you go,
have I heard about the what?
I could tell this the other day, and I don't know if it's true or no. Have you heard about kids disappearing at Disney World?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Hmm. Hmm. I found
And
that interesting.
take that into consideration to the number of pedophile rings that have
Hmm.
been caught involving Disney World employees.
Yeah.
In fact, I actually know a little something about this. Did you know that Disney actors, so we're talking about the ones that like dress up in those big
Yeah.
mascot suits? Okay. Part of their training for the very first day is to see if they can just be able to walk up to random kids and see if they can get the kids to engage with them.
Yeah. It's
Just random kids. Just no
yeah.
costume, nothing to identify him as a Disney employee.
Yeah. I know. I seen that. I seen it. It was a program I was watching on, and it was diving deep into Disney World, and it was today with conspiracies and
Oh no,
stuff like
I
that. And I
know a
seen
guy
that.
who used to be used to dress up as Spider Man, and that's he was telling that story. And I was just like, you seriously didn't think that was a red flag somewhere, bro? It's like I know
Yeah.
you needed a paycheck, but dude,
People don't realize that the amount of depression that the movie industry causes, mental health
oh yeah,
problems. I mean, just that Corey Feldman. I mean, going back to him again, he tried to commit suicide and stuff like that. He had real problems. He had
oh
real
yeah,
problems, and it wasn't just him. There was other child actors that it happened to. Other child actors, and these people are not even getting. They can't be touched because they're like in the elite group, you know. But
mm-hmm.
you look at what do you call it? Is it Epstein's Island?
How many of them have been there?
How many? Yeah, and how many people? This is actually really interesting. This how many people have went to that island and never returned? Quite a lot.
Exactly, exactly.
And people will be like, "Ah, oh, but if their body's buried on the island, no, their body will not be buried on the island. Their body will be in the sea, and after a certain amount of time in seawater, everything, even bones, turn to
Mm-hmm.
basically mush. There'll
Oh
be
yes,
nothing."
they say that the remains of the Titanic will be gone in the next 50 years
Yeah, but then you'll get
because
somebody that
there's an
listens
impact.
to that and leaves a comment saying, "Oh, but what about the Hoover Dam? And there's been bodies found there." Well, that's actually different. That's fresh water, and they were in barrels. The people that were found in the Hoover Dam, and the barrels kind of protected them, but the fresh water, and it was that deep and that cold that
Mm,
it spared their bones. But you've got to remember in the sea, there's a lot of like sea plankton that eat bones and stuff like that. That's why there's no
no.
skeletons in the Titanic or any shipwrecks.
Mm-hmm.
I know divers that dive wrecks, and they've never once came across skeletons. So there you go.
No, they probably
But
were.
it's
They were just part of the dirt.
they were part of the dirt. They were part of the dirt. I know someone that dived a cruise ship, and it sunk in the 1950s, and there was something like about 100 people or something that was trapped in it when it went down. There was nothing left of them. So if you think about the Titanic that went down in 1913, 1912, it went down.
No.
There's nothing there. But I mean, mental health. I mean, the world is messed up, man. The new with especially with mental health.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, everything's just going out of control. And what happened in Europe last night was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of the families that have been affected. Can we mention where that was? What was Russia? What happened there was absolutely terrible. And I hope they catch them. They catch all of them. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And people will be like, "Oh, you can't say that. That's Russia. That's the enemy." No, there's humans. Yeah, I mean, you have to
Exactly.
be. Yeah, we're all the same.
Exactly. There's this, and anybody who actually pays attention to the situation, especially involving Russia, we all know that 99% of this crap that tries to put Russia and the US against each other
Mhm.
is simple propaganda. One trying to
Yeah,
outdo the other. That's it. At the end of the day, we're all still fucking humans.
yeah, yeah. And you think of the children that were killed yesterday, the women that were killed yesterday, and the men that were killed yesterday. Their families now will have no mothers, no fathers, no sons, and no daughters,
Hmm.
and they'll be grieving terribly.
Exactly.
And I went on to TikTok today. I went on TikTok all the time just to see the mad stupidness that folk post on there. And there's people there using this situation to make loads of money on going, oh yes, yes, it was ISIS and it was such and such and it was all that. I know I've got secret I've friends that are in the CIA. See folk that do that, that take advantage of people that's happened to make money.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's terrible. It really is.
And honestly, while I'm one for people coming out and telling their stories, their what thing about things that have been going on like that, does that actually? Here's another thing. We try to say that we're becoming a society that's a little bit more aware when it comes to like mental health, what other
Yeah.
people may be going through. Yet that shit's still going on. We're being aware for the wrong reasons.
It'll always go on. You can't stop you can't stop people being dicks basically
Stupid.
to other people. Yeah. You can't stop that. But have you seen what's happening in Scotland in the 1st of April?
Oh, what's that?
Well, you can't insult anybody or you'll get arrested. I'm serious.
Huh?
You can't insult anyone or you'll be arrested. You can't talk about government or you'll be arrested. You can't talk about anything particular and you'll be arrested. Do you know that comedians, look it up on your phone if you're sitting there, that comedians have been advised, Jim Davison's one of them actually, that's been advised when he comes to Scotland to not to come by his lawyer or he'll get arrested in case he says in the audience, oh, you're quite fat, because he'll be arrested. And this is the 1st of April that comes into effect. It's basically to say that, see if you say anything online about, yeah, I shit you not. What's that?
I know
Cuz
this is not
X
a
or whatever.
what. I'm not understanding you. I mean, what hasn't like what the
The
fuck?
first of I'm surprised none of yous have heard this. So there's a lot of YouTubers out there. There's a lot of YouTubers out there talking about this. And the 1st of April, if I walk down the street and I go, "Good morning to you," right? If I say "Good morning to you," and that woman or man comes out and goes, "I've just lost my wife. I've just lost my husband. I'm reporting you to the hate crimes," you'll be arrested or fined. Yep, yep, I know. Go and look it up. Trust me, it's real. And it happens on the 1st of April. I'm no shitting you here, by the way. This is
Okay,
totally
okay,
100% real.
okay, okay. Oh, oh,
Go look it
oh,
up.
oh. I'm looking it up right now because you're saying it starts the 1st of April on April Fool's Day.
Yes, but look, I know that I thought it was a joke at first, but no, all the big comedians in England, in America that come to Scotland have all cancelled their shows because of this. Look it up.
Holy
Yep. The police force in
ah!
Scotland will be able to arrest you for basically offending someone. So if I get into the shop and someone goes, oh, I need to squeeze past you, I'll say, are you being hangry because I'm quite big? I'll phone the police. The police will actually arrest them. They'll come out and they'll arrest them. Or they'll fine them. Welcome to George Orwell, 1984, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. I'm amazed that you guys didn't care about this.
Probably because
That's because
everybody's assuming it's a joke.
it's no joke.
That
It's not
because,
a joke,
like I
it's
said,
real.
it's shown as on April Fool's Day of all days.
Yep. But it's no a joke, it's real. It's 100% real.
Trying to stir up hatred, blah 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 blah.
Did you ken about that watcher on the wall in the chat on Living Histories Mysteries? Good to see you, bud. It's mad. You can't offend anyone now in Scotland in the 1st of April. So if somebody offends me, I'll be able to basically say, well, take them to court and I'll get like compensation. But then they could do it to me. It's mad.
Oh.
I'm coming to America to stay. There's something Alan.
They're trying. I know. Was just reading up on it, Alan, and I would have posted a link in the chat, but our Streamlabs is not letting me post shit to chat right now, fucker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clearly, that's mental. This is we got
but you've got to remember, but in Scotland, all the lefties and all the mad idiots, I'll probably get arrested for that. But there's no way to roll the first shit, so I'll be fine. What do you call it? Are now running the government.
Clearly, no.
Yeah.
Now from what I've just read through, I think, and this is a stretch here, I think I can kind of understand what they're going at. They're trying to go for like people who are inciting riots and shit like that.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
But
at the same time,
this mental ass society, I know we're talking about mental health and stuff like that, but it's where I don't even know what the fuck to say.
I know. It was actually one of Trump's kind of, he comes to Scotland and stuff like that, but it was one of his friends. It was on YouTube talking about it last night, and they were also saying, what is it? They're also saying, see if someone, right, say for instance, it's April the 5th or whatever, right? See someone sends me a link, right, about Donald Trump saying the Scottish government are idiots, right? Just hypothetically say that happens, right?
Okay.
And I reposted that. I get arrested. It's also you're not allowed to offend anyone in your house. You're not allowed to offend anyone in your house or yourself. If you offend anyone on the phone or in a message or in your house, for instance, if this was live in the 1st of April, say for instance, and I went, oh, I don't like the Scottish government, they're all arseholes, I'd be eligible for arrest. Yeah. You see where this is going? And it's the dystopian future, you know? It's dystopian. That's what's happening.
We're already dystopian. What are you talking about?
But it's no as using the United States. You have no idea. You are so much more freer than we are. I know this has nothing to do with it, but see in the UK, we pay quite a lot in gasoline prices when we're taxed heavily here. I mean, you have no idea how much we're taxed. Do you kind of like for a gallon of gasoline here? It's what, £12? What's that? $14 for a gallon? Can you imagine paying $14 for a gallon? Do you know how much? Do you know how much of that is tax? 96% of that's tax. I was talking to my brother Drew the other night. Kenny, you see him in the chat and and again. The Imagine. But anyway, he went to the shop. He smokes, right? If it's bad for you, ladies and gentlemen, don't smoke it. It's bad for you. You've heard the Golden Virginia. You know what I'm talking about, the rolling tobacco, right? How much do you think an ounce of that is now? Like a pouch out here.
I don't know what.
Have a guess.
I don't fucking know. I don't smoke.
And in the United States, it's maybe what, $2, $3, right? Here, it's a grand total of £32. So it's $40 98% tax. That's why you guys had a revolution, dudes.
Unfortunately, we're a
Yeah.
little too widespread right now for them to really enforce that type of shit.
But see, that's everybody will ask, what's this to do with mental health? It's different to do with mental health. You think about it.
Well, think,
You can't say a joke now in Scotland the 1st of April. You'll not be able to say a joke, right? You'll not be able to express yourself if you're a comedian. You'll not be able to do it. So hence you'll be even more depressed because you'll be living in this dystopian future where you're not allowed to do anything.
and it should just go to show how shit mental health just around the world is getting right now. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm still in disbelief about that bit, man. But at the same
So
time, comedy.
yeah,
When it comes to comedy, that's one of the oldest, coping mechanisms in the world, pretty much.
I know. But that's what a lot of comedians are saying. They come to Scotland. There's a lot of comedians out there. They love Scotland. That Jim Davison that I watch. He's Scottish, right? He's got a Scottish ancestry, and he comes because he sees his fans, and his fans love him, and he talks to his fans after it, and he was saying that how they cheer them up and they get them out of depression and stuff like that. And this is where this is going. He can't come to this country now and tell a joke about anything. Like, imagine there's jokes out there if you're in the desert and an Arab can march across. You can't tell a joke like that. Can't tell a joke. Anything that offends anyone, you're not allowed to say it now. You'll get arrested or fined.
Oh no, a lot of Arab countries actually host like secret parties out in the middle of the desert to try to get away from that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And like Gabriel Iglesias, just kind of elaborate living history. I don't know him personally, but he's been following me ever since he did that scary movie, parody with Marlon Wayans. Like and he would get taken out. Obviously, it would look kind of suspicious here in Arab countries, being escorted by Lincoln Navigators to someplace out in the middle of nowhere. And he would just say that even the religious police, some of the most strictest assholes, this is their words, not mine, are even trying to have a good time.
Yeah. The Police Scotland issued a statement the other day saying, how in God's name are we meant to manage this? Every police officer in Scotland's got to go through a 2-hour course now to shows they know. I know a few police officers in Scotland, and I know about 3 police officers in Scotland and 3 police officers. Oh, there is there, son of the naked big throat. Whoa! I would get a death penalty for that shit. I've been. What's that?
That's about Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
Pete, brother,
yeah.
Yeah.
We gave you a shout out to the start of the show. Their son of the naked big Pete. Hope you're well, bud, and be safe out there on your investigations and stuff. Need to get you on the show when you come back to tell us all about it. But see, that's the crazy thing. But see, that's the madness, right? Pete posts stuff on Twitter, and I find it quite interesting, the stuff that he posts on Twitter, right? About like getting the governments in America. See if I repost that when this comes in, I could get into trouble. I just heard somebody's voice there. Is that
2933? That was a male voice.
Yeah.
Okay, did anybody else just hear that?
I heard that too.
It was like a male
I find
voice
it strange it
saying
happens when
hello.
Pete come in.
That did sound like a little bit like Mike.
It did. That was interesting. That I've noticed that we only experience problems when Pete comes in. Turn up
and you're wanting him to get on the fucking show.
But seriously.
Yeah, Pete, Mike, some of the weird ones that we had up there.
There's some growling he had it too.
I was about to say, that Chris Hacks. You hear that, man? I saw you were posting like little timestamps during the Rick McCallum interview, which, thank you. Kind of wish more people would do that when we have weird shit.
Can you imagine how depressed Scotland's going to be and how really depressed we're going to be after the 1st of April? We'll not be able to watch comedy. We'll not be able to say jokes. Imagine being in the pub and you say a joke to somebody and it offends someone. You'll be put on a list. Seemingly this is what they're doing. They're going to put you on a list for minor offences, but you'll not be able to travel, and you'll be against your name, which will affect things. It's mad. I'm moving to America. There's a millionaire out there. Save me.
I know, Chris. I had no problem with it. I kind of liked seeing that because we always have weird shit on the show, and people say, "Oh, we hear the voice. What we hear?" No, where'd you hear it? We don't have time to go through the whole entire thing.
Oh, what's that Pete's just put in the chat? That's really interesting what he's just put in the chat.
Resting up, my guide is coming at sunset for a night excursion into the swamp, going first to an old maroon settlement, then going in deeper looking for the bearmen. Ooh.
Pete, go and send us some pictures tonight, please. Do it through Twitter.
Are you sure you want that?
Go and send us some pictures of that.
Bearmen?
Fine. Pete will hold on sale. Send me some pictures of that, please, Pete. I would love that.
You know that's slang, right?
For what?
Big gay men.
I know.
You're wanting pictures? You're wanting that type of pictures?
Well, Pete, I don't know if that's what it looks like. I don't know if he's into that kind of stuff. But no,
we have a pretty rough idea of what he looks like. We knew his dad.
Remember his dad talked about the bear men in the swamp.
Yeah.
He's
I know that was another. I know in some places that's another term for like Sasquatch.
Remember, Pete. If you hear something chasing after you, kick your guide and run as hard and fast as possible.
Exactly. You don't necessarily have to outrun it. You just have to outrun the person next to you.
Aye. Bear men, oh God. I can hear cats running about you.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people talking about depression all the time, especially on TikTok. I mean, there's folk on there that I just don't know about them. They're just mad. They're strange. And they're depressed because their Xbox doesn't work, or they're depressed because their telly, they can't get a certain channel. They don't know what real depression is. You know what I mean? I know people that are going through so much this year, terrible things this year. And it's absolutely terrible for them. It really is. What's that? Oh, here Pete said something interesting, ladies and gentlemen, in the podcast world. What? The bear men are Bigfoot-like creatures who reportedly were responsible for the disappearance of the I can't pronounce Roanoke colony, which is
Roanoke.
Roanoke colony. This is my fucking. Would you go out and put on my movie voice here? Maybe somebody will want to hire me or something like that. I can escape to America. See?
No, you have one of the major studios that produces Power Rangers over in Edinburgh.
Oh my God, what's that guy just put in there? You can read that one out in a movie studio.
I'm done.
Yes.
What?
I've done my part. And you done it. Go.
Hey, no, you're the one. You're the one that's perking up at that.
See, but your door's opening. It's the spirits. They're coming.
The cats.
It's the spirits. See, that's the aliens coming again with the probes. Then you have to wake him up. I don't know where he was. Doing terrible things. Pete, you'll need to send him some of that lubricant that you invented.
No, we don't need it up there.
But I mean, this is something that I want to talk about today, talking about depression and mental health. What is it with Americans and drugging kids? I mean, a lot of American kids are on. I mean, what is that? I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The doctor person, actually.
Between depression meds for alleged ADHD, when majority of those kids were acting like normal fucking 5-year-olds. And stuff like that. And yeah, one of my sisters, perfect example. she was diagnosed ADHD. She had a teacher
Yeah.
that just did not like dealing with kids being, kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't paying attention in class, blah, 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 blah. She flat out called her teacher a fucking bitch one day.
Mm.
Imagine 5 years old. But anyway. So they tried putting her on ADHD pills.
Mm-hmm.
It basically killed her ability to, just smile, to be able to laugh, stuff like that. She was a practical zombie. I literally had to throw this child over my shoulder at one point because she got so pissed at one of our cousins, she was going to kill him with a scooter.
But this is what I
But
don't get. See
here's
this,
the
but
thing.
this is
What,
when you go on.
with my sister, 90% of her problem was that she couldn't see. She was blind.
Well,
She's still
yeah,
legally blind.
but is your sister
We kind of
legally
figured,
blind?
yeah,
But she
her eyes are
drives.
complete shit. Well, it's been corrected since
I was
she's
about to
had
say,
glasses. But legally, she's considered to be blind.
driving in the road like that, oh, it's ceiling,
We should have figured
running pedestrians
she
out and
got.
stuff like that.
She was. I'm honestly shocked the way she drives. When she was little, I was shocked we didn't pick up that she was blind when she got hit by a car that was fucking parked.
Right. This is something that I've always wondered, right? I've never had the opportunity to ask someone, right? You've got all these ADHD, right? And autism and all this kind of stuff, right? And when did that begin? Because you didn't hear much of stuff like that in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. It was more like the 90s and the 2000s. I mean, is it something that people have been eating, like these weird numbers or no?
I
That's
was
did it
about
to
to
them.
say. You can actually see this in a lot of the campaign behind Robert Kennedy. He makes that comparison all the time. It's like at the time when his uncle John F. Kennedy was president, and you did hear about this type of stuff
Oh yeah,
happening, but it was
yeah,
within like 1 to 5%. Now it's
yeah.
almost up to like 80% in some
See,
dynamics.
that's what I wonder, because I mean, you still had like Down syndrome and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
it was
And
still out there, but it wasn't
yeah,
as prevalent.
and people were locked up in mental asylums for having stuff wrong with them, right?
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't as prevalent. It wasn't like what it's like now, because everybody now seems to have it. Everybody I ken, somebody's got like autism or ADHD.
Now,
Everybody.
now there's a couple of we actually got into a conversation about this the other day with a very dear friend of mine. She pointed out that there was a lot of they believe there's contributions from food we eat, pollution, even just the environment while the child is in utero. There's a lot of different factors that are coming into this. Now, granted, when you really think about it, ADHD, the stuff has always been around. And
Yeah.
anybody who's made a significant change in the world, and I would like to reiterate this, anybody who's made a significant change in the world, say like Elon Musk,
Yes.
perfect example.
Yeah.
He's considered Asperger's or level
Yes.
1 autistic, I think is the
I
new
watched the
term
program
for
before.
it.
Yeah.
Look at all the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
who's associated with any major change in human history has been believed to be neurodivergent in some manner. So it's not necessarily all a bad thing. It's just how it's channeled, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
The way I was. There was another voice
that in
there.
the chat that I heard that too.
That was a woman.
It was. It's like, what's the name in the chat there? I was locked in those places many times. That's terrible. The people never went to me leave. I ended up taking care of them. Yeah. Yeah. But see, that's the thing, and you got to remember in like the early, oh my God, in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, when you had mental health problems, they locked you away.
Oh yeah.
And what else? I know someone that used to work at a mental hospital, and they were telling me one night about how this was going back to the the 60s, right? 60s, 70s. How they would, for people with no schizophrenia, with schizophrenia, right, which can be treated with obviously drugs and stuff, and people with ADHD and autism were getting electroshock therapy.
Hello?
Something for later. Was just getting it ready.
Right. But but they were getting electroshock therapy because they had that wrong with them, and it made them worse. It made them worse. What's that? The workers are crazy. Most of the people forced their art, especially gifted and kind. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, thanks, right? And I'm going to mention this. You know, you got what's their name? What are they? People, God, that I just mentioned, the Down syndrome. Down syndrome people are the most nicest people in the world. Have you ever noticed that? There's somebody, I ken somebody that's got Down syndrome boy. He's about 20-year-old, and he's the nicest boy I've ever met in my entire life.
You know, speaking of the whole little Scottish hate crimes law that you brought up earlier, knowing some individuals with Down syndrome myself, they're not necessarily mean, but they ain't afraid to roast you, as one would say. What would happen to them?
God knows.
Think about it. There's going to be some people who aren't going to be so ignorant they're not even going to take the Down syndrome into consideration. What's going to happen to them?
We just need to go back to 1939, didn't we? And 1945, didn't we? For what the Germans did to MD was different.
It's almost like they're trying to bring that back when you think about it.
Yep.
But only this time, when you really think about it, they're making the masses sedate themselves with all the same toxins that were found in the experiments the Nazis did against the public.
Yeah. Yeah, you do know it was Nazis that invented fluoride.
Do you know that it was Nazis sending groups of 150 women to one of the biggest medicine manufacturers to experiment on, right?
Yeah, I know.
Bayer.
It's horrendous.
Bayer, the one that makes all these blood pressure medications, they they utilize the Nazis to get human subjects for experimentation.
I know. It's horrendous. What's that in the chat there? What's that interesting there? Imagine a 6 foot
redheaded 20-year-old with the capacity of the 4-year-old. He gets mad and people start getting attacked. Yeah.
It's like that movie in it, Sling Blade. You ever seen Sling Blade?
I don't think I have.
You ken who I'm talking about. He gets out the jail and he's in his 50s, but he's got the mental capacity of a 10-year-old.
Yeah. And over here in the States, several police departments are allegedly undergoing training for those instances where it's clearly that it's a mental health situation, not someone who it's a genuine crime. It's just someone who does not know how to handle their own mental health. But at the same time, people are trying to claim that they're being more understanding, more knowledgeable about this type of stuff. But look how quickly people turn on you. And then that's a subject we can go into tomorrow when it comes to doing like shows like this. But
look, people turn on you for just being different, right? People turn on you and say, "Oh, look at this guy, he's a complete raving idiot." Maybe I'm a complete raving idiot, but look where I am now. I've got to meet all these amazing people. You know what I mean? And look what I've done. I mean, look, you're going to always have people. You're going to have a lot of mad people out there. And I mean, I wouldn't say psychotic. I would say there's people out there that will go after you because they're that jealous of what you've earned. You know what I'm saying? But they could be going through problems too. You don't know what mental health problems they've got. They might have no money. They might be addicted. You don't know.
No, you can. I'm going to counter that. Because let's face it, these people that go online stir up drama, try to say, "Oh, it's this person doing this, not any of this." Some of you may know who we're talking about. I'm not mentioning any names because it's a very widespread problem. No one who is in a good set mindset does that.
Yeah.
So you already know there's something wrong with them if they go to start doing that shit.
No, I just sit back and watch them. That's what I do. I don't retaliate in any way, shape, or form. I just block them and just sit and watch them. And they can do their videos and their mad talks about you and all that kind of stuff. But I just sit there and think, well, I'm the bigger person because I'm no fuck. Because that's what they're probably hoping for. You see, this is the thing. They're hoping for you to come back at them because then they can use that and act all innocent as if they're the one getting attacked and make YouTube money. Get what I mean? You don't make much money on YouTube, but that's what they want. See now, I just sit back and watch things. I just sit back. I don't answer them back. I don't do anything. I find it quite comical.
And usually that's what drives them crazier.
That is the truth, guys. See if you've got like a troll on YouTube, the worst thing you could do is answer them back. Right? See if you don't answer them back and just totally ignore them. And it doesn't matter, their world will start to fall apart really quick because people will be like, well, why are you doing that to that guy when he's not really saying anything about you? He's not even coming back at you. See
But
what I'm
there's
coming
the
at?
thing. Unfortunately, there's well documented cases where that doesn't stop it. And then you
Oh, I
got
know.
situations like doxing and people setting people's cars on fire. No, I wish I
That's
was.
just,
I wish I was exaggerating about that type of stuff,
I,
man.
I know. I know. There are people out there that get trolled. They make up fake accounts to troll
They
you.
make up fake
They,
accounts. They
yeah.
troll you. They try to report you to the feds.
Oh, no.
I know people who have taken down communities that they built for over, I believe, like 90,000, almost to a million followers into some sort of like Discord community, and took it down because these people got so upset that they started stalking this person's girlfriend, called it into their university, got him kicked out of university, tried reporting him to the feds for tax evasion, all this stuff, just because he missed one scheduled stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Look, yeah. Just think in Scotland soon, for that, you'll get jail. I'm serious. I'm
that's
serious.
yeah. Am I gonna have to start putting warning labels on the shows again because of you?
I don't know. It should be fine. It's not as if they're going to arrest you.
What could they do?
I know. They're not going to send you to jail for 100 years because you said that they're assholes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If they started doing that, they would need to do the entire population of the country. What, six and
it's
a half
kind of
million
it's
Scotch?
pretty much what they're trying to do from the looks of it.
Yeah,
God,
Scotch control.
y'all,
Yeah,
y'all,
Scotch.
y'all give the Americans crap for having more incarcerated citizens per capita, but at the same rate, why does it seem like y'all are trying to play catch up?
Look, talking about what we're going to be talking about the more, and the, would you call it, the stalkers, and the, would you call it, the trolls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, parasocial interaction.
I'll tell you, I've seen, I know some YouTubers out there I'm friends with. I'm not going to say who they are. They're quite big channels, and they get stalked like you wouldn't believe.
Oh yeah.
With crazies out there. Look what happened to me. Look what happened to me before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, but I don't retaliate anymore. If somebody doesn't like me, there's probably somebody on here that knows watching me and they don't like me. I'm not going to retaliate. So you can do what you want, but I'm not going to retaliate. Get what I mean? It's pointless. I'm a better person for it. You know? What's that? And there's that used to just reading the chat there, like beer bottle. Yep.
That is crazy. But no,
What, Nico?
there's just kind of, we did have kind of veer off the subject of mental health lately. It's just that right now, it seems like the world is in a position where we're starting to become more aware of what's going on. And in spite of everything that's going on, honestly, I just want to say, as chaotic as it may seem, it will be worth it in the end. But you just got to be able to stick around.
Mm-hmm. And don't do anything stupid. If you feel like he's wanting to go down that road, phone a number first. I mean, was it the Samaritans there? I don't know if you have anything there already.
I was like, you had the Samaritans over there, but
yeah,
here we have this little QR code. You can just scan that. It has an international list of different hotlines. There's some websites on there. I'm gonna try to get on and get that updated a little bit later, but scan that with your phone. If you need help, it's out there.
Yeah.
You don't have to take on this alone. If you don't feel like you got a good friend or anybody like that you can talk to, there's people out there willing to hear you out.
Yeah. Seek help. Go to family. If you've got no family, go to friends. If you've got no friends, go to Andy, really. I mean, if you're alone and you're walking about and you see like a police officer or whatever, maybe go up and talk to them. I mean, say what you're feeling like, and maybe they can help you. You don't know.
Yeah.
I mean? I mean?
Exactly.
Don't do anything stupid, though. If you're considering doing anything stupid, do not do it. Phone that number, approach an officer of the law and tell them what you're going to feel like doing, and they'll help you. I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'll say
It's not worth
this.
it.
I'll say this. Those of you who followed us for a while know my story. Know that there was almost an act of divine intervention or extraterrestrial intervention, and depending on how you want to look at it, that saved me out of that point. That's been almost 16 years ago since that happened. And yes, there's been other instances. But now, I can't exactly go into full details because it's still under a microscope a bit. But had I given up, I would not have a chance to finally find the answers I was looking for. And for those of you who've been following us for a while, you know the significance of that.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, we wouldn't have an opportunity that some of you accidentally got a peek at because the damn Streamlabs was already bringing it up.
I've been looking forward to this. You were telling me about that last night. I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out what it was.
So, being that it's the end of the show, I think it's a good time to do this. We have a little bit of a surprise for y'all. Well, I have a couple different ones. So, as some of you may not know, Bonkers is actually a shareholder in a Hollywood studio. I know, terrible news to start and the show off, considering how we started it up. But anybody who's worked under this banner hasn't. There's no controversies really associated with them. They're well aware of the sickos out there and equally as disgusted. One of the business advisors happens to be former director of NSA and CIA. So if we were to fuck up, he would not be afraid to tear shit down. Mm-hmm. But anyway, as such, this studio has recently put out a brand new movie. Mm-hmm. And we have not only the trailer for this movie, for someone that we've kind of joked around about having on the show, but just haven't been able to really schedule anything proper. Mm-hmm. But as well as a special video message from the main actor. So, ladies and gentlemen.
It's an interesting phrase, go boldly. What is there to boldly go into.
You're William Shatner.
You can call me Bill. Do we ever present ourselves as we really are to somebody else? Can we be absolutely honest? As we get older, we ask ourselves questions. Do we really know each other? Do we really know ourselves? Why are we here?
Let's go get some answers.
Risk. Risk is our business.
Everything's risky, but there's something beautiful about that.
I'll face whatever you have behind those doors and come out exactly as I went in.
I haven't changed the world. But what is a legacy are the good deeds. Go boldly. Go with courage. Go with commitment. That's what it means. And then boldly go into the next adventure. That's the story of my life. It's the search for love, symmetry, and passion. That curiosity is what keeps us alive.
The latest movie from
Good
Legion
to love
M,
what
out now. You Can Call Me Bill, directly from William Shatner himself.
I'm going to watch that. That looks good. I like William Shatner. He's one of the greatest actors there is. I mean, he's been in everything, but he's also an awesome captain. I'm a kind of Trekkie. I'm a Trekkie.
I know. We
I'm
got
a
quite a
dog.
few Trekkies in the audience. I thought would probably get a kick out of seeing that. It is out in theaters now. I think we have at least 235 theaters it's showing in right now. So if it's not available near where you're at, give it time. The main studio heads are working on it. But we do
I might go
also
and
have a
watch that.
special video message from Shatner himself talking a little bit more about the movie. And it's the part that accidentally kicked up earlier as I was trying to get everything prepared. So I know Coda's pressing the wrong buttons again.
Legion M movie fans, and I'm one as well. You know, some of my earliest memories are from watching movies in the theater. In fact, it was my love of going to the movies that inspired me to leave home and pursue my dream of becoming an actor. That's why we're releasing our new documentary exclusively in theaters on March 22nd, which just also happens to be my 93rd birthday. Please check out the trailer and then come and join us for the celebration. It's an interesting phrase.
I didn't realize I was going to play the trailer too.
I didn't get it was 93.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
he's
He's
up
good for
there,
his
man.
age. I hope he lives for it. I hope he gets out at 100. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why he wanted to do the documentary. He's starting to realize, he's getting up there. He's not going to have long left. And
oh no,
Leonard Nimoy's really influenced it.
Oh, I know.
So yeah,
Leonard Nimoy was an excellent actor.
So yeah,
excellent actor.
Some of y'all may have not known. Technically, William Shatner and I are business partners.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Dakota's friends with old William.
Oh yeah, I got friends in the Justice League and the X-Men.
Hey Louise, good to see you. But and Lawrence, good to see you. But what do you call it? It's like you don't get them to like dress up as a Klingon. You come out as a Klingon.
I've been trying to get him onto the show to kind of talk about all this UFO related stuff. He's kind of skeptical about it, but I thought it'd be kind of fun.
I think he'll come on eventually. You need to get. It's a shame you couldn't have been in the movie, man. We could have you floating through space next to your spaceship.
Chris,
what? Are you in the movie? Yeah. What you did in the movie, like what you starring as?
It's background stuff, but I'm in the movie.
Oh, there you go. He's in the movie, ladies and gentlemen.
Coda
There you
does
go.
movies, not
Yes.
just ones he makes at home for the hub. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you very much, Chris. Who's that? Is it Chris? I can't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry.
Chris Hacks.
Chris Hacks. Hello, he's a good guy like you. Thank you very much.
No, he is a good guy.
You know. But on that note, we are going to retire now. He's gone back to the spaceship. I'm going to my bed. he just got a delivery for Pete's farm. What is it? Paranormal. What is it? Paranormal.
God,
lube
you're
or
going
something
on
like
the lube again.
that. Come on. It's a good job you've not had me putting on my wig. You know.
Oh God, you're bringing out that damn thing too.
You know, I could wear it like that because I think it goes with my beard. What do you think?
I think it makes you look like a hairy, mushroom.
What's a hairy mushroom? I've never seen a hairy mushroom. What's a hairy mushroom?
You're not really paying attention to like Portobello. They got like little hairs on it.
I'm going to start a new style. All the TikTokers will be dressing up as me soon. You know.
Enough stupid shit gets
They'll be
around on
jealous.
TikTok. You know why? But hey, well, first off, we got to worry about the U.S. ban on TikTok.
Aye, when's that happening? We should talk about that.
It's
more
not.
today.
Oh yeah, that's gonna set some people off. It would kind of fit, but no, it hasn't been made fully official yet. But it's not looking good.
Well,
I
just think of all these screaming children and screaming adults that love doing TikTok.
Yeah, no. Some of these kids will be looking like junkies because they can't get on TikTok.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a fantastic Saturday night and into Sunday morning. We will see you tomorrow. Dakota, do you have any words before we go?
No. But as Shatner says, it's time to boldly go. Elton versus William. Oh, God. Lawrence. Do you know what it took to make that little preview happen?
Hello. Damn it, Jim. We can't take it no more, Captain. The reactor core's not heating. There you go. If movie industries want a new Scotty, I'm available. Just contact my manager here.
Your manager.
He wants to play a Klingon. He can be a Klingon.
Your manager.
What?
Fuck
you get all the money. Yeah, you can. It's not as if you're going to be my sidekick, you know, like a clone. You know, grow a nice, luscious beard like this. See how thick and soft
I have a small baby I'm taking care of. Not wise decision.
What? Do you have a beard?
Yeah, around a small baby? No.
Well, just tug it. Look how long it's getting. It's going away, dude.
Hey, maybe you're into that kink, but no.
Where's Pete? He's in his tent waiting for his guy to come with paranormal lube.
Yeah, he's waiting for his bearman. But anyway, we're going off on the tangent again. So much love. Take care, y'all. We'll see you soon.
I'm coming to get you all.
Chris, get their hands off me! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Bald and Bonkers Show. My name is Dakota Franson, and here we have our co-host, Christopher Mule, the feckin' jackass. Really? Is that what you had to say about it? No one can fucking hear you, Chris.
You know, notice that. See, using the
Notice-
podcast world, they'll not see this. But it's like how he's put the wee legs below me. I'm like Humpty Dumpty.
Chris,
honestly, what?
your audio was cut.
What?
I had you turned down while the intro started just to see how long you would take.
Yeah. Terrible. But ladies and
I
gentlemen,
figured. You want to know what? Honestly,
take
what
my
I wanted
bloody
to
name
do?
back.
I wanted
Terrible.
to. All I wanted to do was turn down your mic on, and so it still looked like you were talking. Would still light up like this. But just talk to you like I talked to my little niece, and see how long you could carry on.
Ladies and gentlemen, but do you know see what I'm trying to say here? But look what he's done with the legs. I look like Humpty Dumpty.
Then we get rid of your face. You see the creep that's standing behind it.
Mm.
Think with an axe.
Aye, that's all right. It's my spirit guy. Go and haunt him or something like that for the night. Do some terrible things to you. Mike, where are you, Mike? Go and visit Dakota the night and give him a visitation that he'll never forget.
I already got a woman
know?
doing that, man.
You've got what?
Already got a woman doing that.
Are you sure it's a woman?
I'm fairly certain.
So, ladies and gentlemen, who's all in the chat? We've got Galactic Stardust, we've got Dots MC, we've got Lawrence. Who else? We've got 9 people watching. We've got workers watching tonight that are not saying anything.
When don't we have workers, man?
But that's very true. We do have lurkers because as a kind of subject tonight, we're going about getting into the kind of stalking online. And I mean, let's face it, I've been stalked online by crazed lunatics, and so have you.
Yeah, no. If an ugly ass motherfucker like you could get stalkers.
I'm the Sean Connery of YouTube.
The Sean
What?
Connery of YouTube. Sean Connery probably doesn't even know how to work YouTube.
Sean Connery's been dead for a while. You know that, don't you?
Well, exactly. Proves my point.
Hey, Louise, good to see you in the chat. But honestly, but that's the thing. We're going to be talking about stalking on tonight. It's happened to. Remember when it first happened to us? Remember when we left the dreaded P place?
The dreaded P place.
Oh, bugger it. I'm just going to name it. Parasocial. When I left Parasocial, oh my God, I was stalked.
Oh, we both were, man.
Yeah.
But
by two crazed individuals.
2 crazy individuals led the charge. But this also, that also kind of proved the point. So the official clinical term, I guess you could call it, is parasocial interaction. And this is not exactly something that you hear a lot of people talking about until it's too late, until something's gone down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And while the term has been around since, I believe it was the 1950s, more often than not, it's usually associated with people who interact with people that don't really acknowledge their existence online. Say, people chatting away in their favorite podcast streams. We're not poking fun at a lot of you, And normally, little stuff like that is innocent. And we read all the comments we get, and there's been days where we're kind of having a shitty day, and some of y'all leave us some love, and that lifts our spirits. That's perfectly okay. We do see it all, but at the same time, oh dear Lord, the things
I go
people
to
do.
look. I had one person in particular. I'm not going to mention who it is or what they were, but they would change their name. But the one they change, they would change their YouTube name, right? But they would keep the same account. I mean, how stupid is that? And then they would do it with their Facebook account. I don't know if people know this, but Facebook keeps a record how many times you change your name. And if
Mhm.
you ask, they'll tell you if you're getting problems with them. I reported them all. And strangely enough, it's all stopped now. Strangely, since I set up a report in with Facebook, it all just stopped.
Well, people don't realize that the algorithm counts how many times someone's been flagged, and that's why there's also
Yeah.
instances where I believe you can find forums on Reddit where people just post on about certain content creators that pissed them off for whatever reason, and people will just mass report it for no goddamn reason.
Remember when we did do the shows in Parasocial, we used to have a lot of creeps about. There was a lot of creeps about in the days, the early days. And remember that, and they used to go for the women in the group. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, the
And
fucking irony of
I'm only,
behind that.
there was one of them. He was convinced he was a submarine commander that killed a megalodon with a torpedo. Remember that one? And
Oh
because we
god,
pingled
yeah, I
him out,
remember that.
yeah. And because we stuck up against him and that, I'll tell you something. He was in a lot of trouble, him, because he was threatening behaviour on Twitter, now X, obviously. But it just shows you there is some psychotic loonies out there. There
And
is.
unfortunately, it's cases like that that bring justification to something like the new anti-harassment laws you were telling us about yesterday.
Oh my God, in Scotland. Well,
Yeah.
basically, that's George Orwell 1984 stuff. That
I know.
just
My sister got pissed at me when I explained how I explained it to her.
well, it's like right for new people here. Hey, loops, hobbies, and more. It's good to see you, bud. Imagine this: Scotland, beautiful morning. You come out your door, and you see your neighbour standing there as she's standing at her front door, and you go, "Good morning to you." And she turns around and goes, "You're being bad to me. My husband died this morning. Why is that a good morning?" And reported you to the police. You can get arrested for that. Just for saying
Yeah,
good
no.
morning to somebody. I mean, they're trying to bring this in to stop hatred towards like Islam and stuff like that, right? Which I can see the point there, and other things like sexual orientation and stuff like that, right? Which I can see because there is a lot of crazy folk out there that
Oh yeah.
like extremists and stuff and that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be used for the most stupidest thing. Do you know that? What do you call them? Comedians in Scotland that come to Scotland that have been advised to cancel all their shows, and they've cancelled all their shows because if they, for instance, how some comedians will make a joke about somebody in the what do you call it?
Yeah.
Crowd, or somebody doesn't like them and says, "Oh, they offended me," they can get arrested or fined.
Yeah.
So it's mad.
No, it was kind of funny. Was talking about this with my family, my mom, my younger sister, and I used, I was trying to explain it to them because, like I did when you said it was getting enacted on April 1st, April Fool's Day of all days.
I thought it was a joke too
I
until I found out.
I thought you were reading up once again because you have done it before.
I've done it before, but no, this is
you
too
read
much
up on a joke article thinking it was real.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to start every Scottish person in the chat just started going, "It's true, Dakota." So I had to look it up myself. So here's how I explained it to my sister. I said, "Yeah, there's apparently going to be new anti-harassment laws that would make Presley be able to throw a lot of people behind bars." That's my sister's name. And they're like, "Okay." She's like, "Okay, what the fuck do you mean by that, asshole?" So I just looked at her and said, "Call Scotland Yard. Take me away."
Mm-hmm.
I knew she would get busy like that, so that's why I used her.
So basically, if you call somebody an asshole, or you call somebody a name, any name,
Mhm.
That, and do you know that that's actually been set aside that the police must investigate that crime? Must investigate it. Doesn't matter how petty it is. They must investigate it.
Yeah,
You see the problems this has got to cause.
as if the police aren't already walking away from certain crime scenes saying, why did those two idiots fucking procreate?
Yep. Yep.
Seriously,
It's mad.
they do.
But that is just going to. I mean, can you imagine it? Can you imagine the discussions on the Flat Earth Society with people in Scotland and stuff like that? That he said that the world was a ball. I disagree. He's offended me. I want him arrested.
So,
And
ladies
then
and
he'll go
gentlemen,
like,
we will be
but he
opening up
says
auditions for a new Bald and Bonkers show host.
I know. And then he'll say, but he's offended me because he says the world's flat. So I want him arrested. You see the point here? See that this is the madness here. So if I get
Yeah.
dragged away in the handcuffs on and all that,
I mean, and people are probably wondering, it's like, okay, what does this have to do with like crazy people on the internet?
oh, because it'll bring them out.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's this one case where it was a gaming streamer and all that, if I remember correctly. You know, one night he didn't come on for his regular live, and his group got so pissed they tracked down his girlfriend's information, where she went to university, got her kicked out of university.
Yeah.
All this stuff, tried to reporting him to the FBI for tax evasion.
Yeah.
All this stuff, and it's just like, and they were openly just bragging about it, saying, "Oh, we run this shit. Fuck that whore. Fuck that whore." What in the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, if I see any of that shit in any of Bald and Bonkers, I will. That we're not tolerating that bullshit. I'm saying that right now.
But what they're also doing too is right. Say for instance, you have people out there that share links on Facebook, right? So MD that's into the kind of stuff this way, they're into like kind of the vaccine stuff. Don't be sharing it to me on Facebook. See if I share that back out again, that's classed as a hate crime again.
It could technically be considered as an accessory when you really think about it, but
yeah. But this is where it gets really crazy. This law. See if you're in your own home and you're sitting watching the TV and you say that guy is a dick, and someone hears you, you can be arrested for that. This is where the Orwellian George Orwell is coming into force. You're not allowed to do it in your own home. So in theory, if you're watching like propaganda, as in say the vaccine or whatever, in your own home, and you share that in your own home, you're screwed. You see what they're doing here.
just about.
But it's madness.
We could probably argue that in some ways, because we see it all the time over here in the States, where lawmakers didn't exactly think of the language they put together when they go to introduce these types of things, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know it's going to be abused.
Of course it's going to be abused. There's going to be folks sitting there saying, I'm going to report Christopher Mole because I don't like the masks behind him. They offend me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they dudes there. You can't know who that is. That's what you call him. That's the guy that tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament, isn't it? That's what you call him.
Yeah, V.
V for
V for
Vendetta.
Vendetta.
And yeah, that's who it is. I mean, and then there'll be somebody. They'll be like, "Oh, there was somebody in the chat for Scotland, and he didn't talk to me, and he offended me. I want him arrested." And this is just going to bring out all the stupid people, because let's face it, there's loads of stupid people. And see, a lot of these trolls are going to love this. The trolls that troll people are going to love this. But Ken, something I don't care.
Over on your side of the pond, they're a lot more proactive about looking into those types of reports than here in the States.
Yeah, I know. Well, when I had my problem in my channel.
Which one?
I actually, what do you call it? The Ghost God Scotland one. When I had my problem, I actually reported it to the police. I did. And they get back to me. They said that they're investigating it, and they've had reports that person had done to them. So I don't know. I never heard another thing about it, but it's on the book that I reported that.
Well, there.
So there you go.
Well, it's anything like over here. They're not only allowed to tell you so much. So.
Coughing up my lung there.
Well, you
you
trying to croak out on me
It's not the
already?
1st of April. I'm fine there. Nah, it's alright. I've just not been feeling very well this week, but it'll be cold. A spring cold, I think it is.
Yeah,
But
you getting this rapid ass change of weather too?
it's like warm then cold, then warm then cold.
Yeah.
You know, that's
That's been getting to me too. I feel you.
That's sinus problems and everything. It's terrible. But look at the problems we've had in the past in Bonkers show with trolls and stalkers. I mean, you've had them. Some crazies. Look at the problems that some of the amazing channels out there, the Elena's channels had. Look at them.
No, exactly. And cases like Alina's are where several of these come into full force when you really think about it. Just think about how many of the crazies flipped over to our side after we've just worked with Elena before, whether we had her on her show or the one when she had me on with her.
Yeah.
Look how many fucking crazies turned up with that, and I'm just like, oh my god.
I know.
What is wrong with you people?
I've seen people in our chat and that getting kicked out of chat and that for being dicks, basically. For just being nasty pieces. And I don't comment in any of the chats now. I just sit and watch it. I do watch which is Danny Ferguson. I watch her lives. I'll comment now and again in her stuff. But I'm usually quite quiet and I just watch the videos now. But I've seen folk in the chat getting kicked out for being really nasty towards them. And they're not doing nothing wrong. They're actually bringing out the truth and stuff. It's absolutely shocking what they're doing to them.
It is.
You know? But this. I suppose in the United States you'll be fine, and I suppose in England you'll be fine. When I go to do my wives, I'll need to get a mobile camper van. When I go to do my wives, I'll need to get a mobile camper van and drive across the border. Do my wives there, then come back again.
Oh no, trust me, man. Over here in the States, there's a lot of police forces in several different jurisdictions who will not enforce certain laws because of just how outrageous it turned out. Did you know? Okay, Colorado, right? Just as an example, one of the first spots in the U.S. to legalize marijuana. At the state.
Really? I didn't get that.
If you ask some of the, remember, like I said, Cheech and Chong had their own little edible line, and the only state they can ship to is Idaho.
I did not know that.
I live in the only state that Cheech and Chong cannot ship to. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you ask like the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms guys, several police districts agree that the legalization of marijuana was some of the stupidest decisions that could have been made.
Yeah.
And why do I say this? Everyone that's saying that it can be taxed, it's nowhere bringing in the amount that people assume.
Yeah.
And the number of people who are driving around stoned and getting into major wrecks is the problem going on right now. I mean, it just hit spring break here. We're already having kids ended up with felony crimes because they want to play a real life version of Grand Theft Auto.
To tell you the honest truth, right? I was talking to, I'm not going to mention his name. He's a police officer in Scotland the other day, and it's somebody I ken, and he was saying, I was talking to him about this, and he's quite high up, and he says to me, he says, listen, he says, we'll probably just turn a blind eye to a lot of the stuff. The major ones like Ken, threats against mosques and threats against churches and threats against like important things, that'll get investigated. But when it comes to somebody saying good morning to somebody and they disagree and stuff like that, they'll be like, right, no problem, and then hang up. Get what I mean? They'll probably no investigate it. Get what I mean? But it still shows you our freedoms are slowly disappearing.
And here's the thing: when it comes to situations like that, a lot of these situations are either blown out of proportion or highly exaggerated in order to try to justify the stripping of rights by voluntary means of the public.
Yeah. It's mad. The world's went mad. It's only a matter of time. I'll tell you something now, if the governments of this world don't get changed soon, it's only a matter of time before all this Orwellian stuff comes to full effect.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're no allowed to drive to a certain point because you've spent your credits for that day. You've heard about this universal basic income that they're wanting to bring out when all the banks crash,
Mm-hmm.
where everybody every week will get like maybe £1,000, right? Everybody will get 1,000 credits, right? And you'll think, oh, 1,000
Mm-hmm.
credits, that's not that bad. But then when you go to drive, say for instance, right, we'll say it's in America, right, and we'll say you, Dakota, want to go maybe 20 miles up the road, and you're like, oh, I need to get gas, and you go to put gas in your car, and the credit thing goes, I'm sorry, you can't buy gas anymore, you've had your share, and you can't go out within the bounds. And then when another fake demic comes in, right, they'll just lock everything down, turn your money off, and you'll only be able to use it within, let's say, your house range. That's how they control you. And it's coming. People are like, oh, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. I'm telling you the new, it's going to happen.
Here's the
It's going to
thing.
happen.
But then again, that goes back to the orchestrating control and basically doing what several American companies, especially, have done for years on end,
Mm-hmm.
and that is create the problem.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, a financial system, the global financial system, is based on only 10% of physical cash.
No.
Roughly only 10%
Yeah.
of the world's money is
Mm-hmm.
physical currency. That
Yes.
system's going to crash regardless if people do not keep themselves in check. And let's face it, nobody kept themselves in check.
See, it's quite interesting. I can quite a lot about this stuff, about the financial system and stuff like this, and it's really interesting. That's right. See, America, the United States, the petrodollar, right? The petrodollar, everybody uses. Mostly everybody uses the petrodollar, right? Uses the dollar, right?
Yeah.
People don't realize with the United States what they do is they just print more money when they need it, right? So if they need like 200 billion, they'll print 200 billion. And then they'll be like, oh, we need more money. So they'll just keep doing it. And that's what they've been doing for years, guys. They've been printing and printing and printing money. One day you guys are going to wake up and $500 million is not going to be worth much because it's all going to collapse. It's look at China. We've got Russia, we've got what do you call it, like India, Pakistan, and all the other kind of some African nations are all like grouping together and making they're using the ruble, and they're using their Canadian currency. But this is the thing about the United States. People don't realize, right? See how, like, right, for instance, right, say you get a credit card, right? And you will, let's say, $30,000 on that credit card, right? But you've got to pay that back, right? You shouldn't really need to. They could easily just say, you don't need to pay it back. Because they just print money over and over and over again. All your governments got is their military might, right? Which is putting it up, right? They've got oil reserves and gold reserves. That's it. That's what's keeping your country alive. If a war starts and it goes totally mad, it's all just going to collapse. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming soon. Your money's got to be worth nothing. What's that? It costs 30 cents to print a $1,000 bill. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
No, that makes a very valid point.
Oh, here's an interesting fact, right? Nothing today with all that kind of stuff. An iPhone, latest iPhone, say 15, right? Pro Max. What's what? $1,200 for any of them.
Something
right?
like that.
How much do you think it costs to make any of them?
Well, being that most of the production comes out of China, probably a good $50 per phone.
$50? No. $9.85 each. That's how much each one costs.
Well, did you hear about the Department of Justice actually suing Apple?
I heard about that. But people will be like, what's this got to do with? It's all got to do with it. It's all these crime, people stalking people and all that, right? You ever heard of gang stalking? And the government are bad for this. The government have done this to famous people, celebrities out there that have talked, and there may be no celebrities now, but they've talked about it. What was the name of that actor who was in Christmas?
Monroe.
Yeah, what was the name of that actor that was in Christmas Vacation? The one that plays Cousin Eddie.
Fuck.
He was in Independence Day when he flew the jet. What was his name? Hey?
You talking Goldblum?
Well, he came out. He was getting harassed in Hollywood. I don't know if you've ever watched his videos that he does. He was getting harassed and he was getting gang stalked in Hollywood, right?
Oh yeah,
and he was
Hollywood's
getting
bad about it.
Yeah, and he was getting trolled and he was getting trolled and he was getting trolled, and they actually taken his house off him. He owned the house. He owned this $9 million mansion, right? And they took it from him. The Hollywood took it from him, and it was all corruption. And he go and he's on YouTube, by the way. Go and give him a subscribe. I messaged him the other day there, and he gave me a thumbs up and stuff. But look, even famous people, it's happening to. And a lot of like famous people out there that talk about this stuff, some of them just disappear, and some of them just die horribly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's not necessarily a famous person, but a rather famous case going right now. The Boeing whistleblower.
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
Where he all of a sudden he goes to testify. The next day he was supposed to continue to testify, and all of a sudden he ends up dead in his hotel room.
Yeah.
From apparent suicide.
Yep.
Little suspicious.
Yeah.
Ever hear of the Barbara Streisand effect?
Look, this world isn't run by who you think it's run by, right? And I'm going to say his name, and I don't care if I get into trouble or not. Trump was onto something when he was in power, right? He was onto something, right? I think Trump was up to something. See, I don't know if you've noticed. See Trump now. See when he goes about. Do you notice he's got an awfully big protection with him, even bigger than what the president of the United States got. I can't. It is it was the ex, but it's as if he's still the president. It's weird. It's weird.
Well, former presidents get the Secret Service protection until the end of their life.
There's something more. Yeah, I mean, I was talking with somebody that's in like the military and that, and do you know that the military actually offered to stage a coup that day, but he told them no, don't do it. And people were like, again, what's this to do with gang stalking and mad stalkers and things? It's all connected. This stupid law that's getting put place in Scotland will come to England one day. It'll come to Ireland one day. It'll come to the United States. It's going to happen. It's not got long before these stupid laws where you say good morning to somebody and you offend them.
I would see more California, parts of Texas, New York. I see those being the first to try to enact stuff like that.
They say New York's bad. They say New York's crime rate is bad. And so is Los Angeles too.
Well, yeah. What do you think happens when you shove a bunch of people into a hole?
Yeah. I know people that are having terrible problems in New York City.
Oh yeah, New York's getting bad. And again, people are probably wondering, well, what does this all have to do? The first people to usually realize how easy it is to manipulate the masses are usually the most corrupt ones who look for ways to benefit off of it. Yeah. If you look at certain figures, right? Certain figures who are known for stirring up hate, stirring up controversy, all this stuff. One thing you can actually do, one thing I would actually advise to do, okay? You can try to see if they are represented by any talent agency. And let's face it, there's a lot that actually support content creators these days. See where that agency gets their funding from. They may not be able to disclose who gets what paycheck. let's say like Democratic National Convention, who constantly funds those types of people, who Joe Biden openly admitted to wanting to utilize social media content creators to help his campaign, they have to disclose that info.
Yeah. There's more going on behind the scenes in what you realise. It's like YouTube, for instance. There's big channels out there that talk the truth, like Elena and Danny, right? But how do we not know that the government have no hiring these trolls to attack them and stalk them and make their lives a misery?
There's quite a few of them that have been traced.
See what I'm saying?
Using the
It's all
exact
connected.
method I just said. Using the exact method I just said. You don't need any special access, no special certifications in order to be able to do it. Anybody can backtrace that paper trail, but they know. But again, let's bring in inflation rates right now. People are having a hard time being able to just buy groceries and get through time right now.
Yeah.
That people are going to be more focused about that than trying to focus on government corruption, stripping away the most basic of needs. Typical move if you want to take somebody out, to control somebody.
Yeah. The world right now is a house of cards. I'm going to say that right now. As a house of cards, the world right now. And it's not going to take much to collapse it. And see, when it collapses, your money's going to disappear. Everybody thinks that the banks will protect you if they've got, like say the banks have got, in the UK, the banks have said that if you've got more than 50,000 or whatever, we'll protect that for you, right? That's a lie. If the banks collapse, you will not be able to get any of your money, right? It's all connected. All this mad laws in Scotland where you disagree with somebody and it's classed as a hate crime. All this gang stalking celebrities that don't agree with the mainstream, right? See that Tucker Carlson, he's getting gang stalked and all that right now.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that? He's getting attacked heavily because he went and interviewed Mr. Putin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll tell you something new. I think he's a good man for doing that because I think that was a very good interview with Putin.
Oh, no. Did you actually hear the background when it came to like organizing all the legalities of it?
No.
No, this is actually an interesting little bit. Tucker Carlson came out and said this himself, that his legal team, he ordered a consultation, and they spent quite a bit of time trying to research and going through all this. They sent him a 26-page document. 26 pages. All that can basically summarize is, don't do it. The U.S. government will come after you.
Yeah. Yeah. But who is the US government? Because it's no that idiot that you've got in office to know. Oh, it's a schedule, but it's no April the 1st. it's not that. It's who is that? You know what I mean?
I've watched, Becky, have you seen the videos? I personally taken a look at them, tried to look for any marks of modification.
Yeah.
But have you seen the videos coming out about Biden admitting about the blue roofs in Maui?
No.
Yeah. He's come out and purposely said, saying, you go with over these houses with the blue roofs, you go over with the helicopter. We need to change that.
That's interesting.
It's exactly what he said. And I've watched the audio myself, watch for any sort of lip deviation, because AI is getting out there, is getting pretty good, where you could be able to take video just like this and run it through a translation AI, and it would actually alter the lip patterns to make it match what is being said, so it doesn't look like a bad Godzilla dub. Just as an example, that text out there, but it still needs a lot of work. Basically, one thing to watch for, a lot of these programs, they haven't quite fixed it yet, but you pay attention to their mouth, it would look like someone is wearing a mask of that person's face with the mouth cut out, and someone else is speaking.
Yeah. There's been a few reports with Biden. He just looks weird. There was this guy I watched in Hollywood, I'm not saying who he is, and he does the conspiracy stuff now, but he can tell if you're wearing a latex mask. And he says he blew up the picture of Biden, and you can see with the eyes as if there's like another layer behind that. Do you get where I'm going with this? It's like somebody's got like a latex mask on. I truly don't think he's running your country. I think it's like Obama or somebody else that's running your country right now.
Obama is obviously going to be in his ear as a former president. But at the same time, when it comes to situations like latex, that's one of those things you have to be up close to be able to really tell.
Yeah, you have to be extremely up close. And it's like the royal family in the UK, they know.
Oh, yeah. Where
I mean,
that
that's just
video of Kate
downright strange.
Middleton's basically admitting that she's has cancer and all this. And granted, if she legitimately has it, best of luck to her.
Yeah, but
if you watch
just
carefully, her face glitches. And I'm not just talking where it kind of looks like she has like a stroke face going on. There's a lag to her face. You'll watch it right
yes,
about where her hair comes down. That's usually one of the first day giveaways of a deep fake.
it's like somebody put in TikTok, and I didn't notice it until I watched it again, and I thought, Jesus, and all it's holy. Sorry if there's any religious folk there. See the striped jumper she's got on? She must like that striped jumper because she had it on about 10 years ago. Exact
Maybe
same one.
It could very well be that she just likes that.
It could be that way too. But the king's disappeared off the face of the earth, right? Because he's meant to have some type of cancer too.
Yeah.
And he's not been seen. And he's disappeared off the face of the earth.
And he is not a young man, so if he has something serious like that go down, he's probably going to be out of it.
And then that Kate Middleton's relations, was it her ex-boyfriend that was found murdered? Or was it found dead?
So.
A couple of weeks ago, a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his head was bashed in a hotel room, and they said it's suicide. So he beat himself to death with a mallet.
Well, there's been cases over here in Idaho where people were found chopped up, stuffed inside trash bags in a car that was driven over the side of the Snake River Canyon, and that was ruled as a suicide.
I just think everything's got to tie up soon. All this, a lot of these online trolls and a lot of these people that are stalking people, 90% of them are paid for. People pay for them to stalk you. I ken people that game, I mean heavily game, and they've got big subscriber counts, and they're getting attacked left, right, and centre with trolls. And they found out that it's other gamers that are competing against them that's paying for these trolls to troll them.
Well, it's a little harder to track that than it is to track people that are swatting.
I've heard about that too, the swatting.
Yeah. I mean, for fuck's sake, Ned Luke, one of the voice actors for Grand Theft Auto 5, he was playing it as kind of an anniversary thing, just going about his business. Somebody swatted his house.
Yeah.
Twice, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Why swatting? They're getting all this information about this person's out. There's been several cases where the wrong house has been approached. Cops are already on edge thinking that there's going to be a gunfight. And someone who has no idea what's going on has ended up dead. And these people have no fucking remorse.
Yeah. Look, and this is the problem again with the law that's coming in Scotland. It's got to be like Mad Max territory. I'm telling you. There's going to be people reporting people for the most stupidest crimes. I mean, not even a crime, the stupidest thing. What's going to happen when they've started opening bathrooms over here to transgender people and stuff like that, right? What's going to... I mean, I even get stuck at it, right? I mean, there's people that identify out there as, I don't know what, that just get strange, stupid names. What happens if you disagree with them? What happens if somebody gets on the bus and he goes, "Oh, good afternoon, sir," and he's like, "I'm not, sir. I am reporting you." You know what I mean? It's stupid.
I know. I mean, I've heard about this story. where this guy he had a kid go transgender, and he was like, all right, no biggie. He was fully supportive of it. But this mentality that he has, like, oh, they're not doing this. You would treat me differently if I was normal. He eventually got fed up and sent the kid to live with his grandparents in Russia to learn
Yeah.
what real transphobia is.
I'm actually thinking about moving to Russia. Probably could be treated better. You know, I'm telling you. And
Yeah,
people
the
be
right.
looking at me, are you mad? And I says, no, because you don't know, you guys don't know the amount of fake news that's coming out of our mainstream system. See, in the UK, the BBC's got a thing now where it's called verified. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this, it's called verified.
Yeah,
The
you
person
brought
that
this up
runs that,
before.
the young woman that runs the verified section, she was known in the past for, guess what? Being a troll, putting out fake news, gang stalking, all that kind of stuff. And they hired her today, the verified news. Does that not tell you something here?
There's one or two ways that can be looked at.
Yeah, when you go down.
On
She's
one
seen
hand,
the light.
she's seen the light. It'd be kind of like those stories where former house robbers went on to create their own security companies because they know everything that the typical house robber is going to look for. They seen the light and try to change their ways. And if that's legitimately the case, good on them. But secondly, it'd be a lot like Disney Channel, where, like we were talking about yesterday, Disney Channel hiring a known and convicted pedophile, not just speculated, not just someone who had allegations pressed against him that didn't go anywhere, convicted, trial by peers. Clearly, something did happen. They hired this guy to work on kids' shows.
Look at the BBC with Jimmy Savile. I mean, you can use Jimmy Savile as, didn't you? I mean, the royal family protected him until he died.
Mm-hmm.
And people will be like, oh, don't say that about the royal family. They wouldn't do such a thing. Look, the police, even a retired police officer that worked in the case, said it was the royal family that was protecting Jimmy Savile until he died. The BBC were known child predators in that. And that's actually a good segue, actually, to go into when we remember the problems we had with Parasocials after it. And it was problems like that. Now, that's actually a really interesting subject, actually, because when that happened, they tried to shut us up. They actually had people watching us and making sure. They actually said to us, ladies and gentlemen, and this is no word of a lie, if you know somebody that knows about that's happened, you need to stop him. And I was like, what? What are you going on about? You have to come out about this. This is terrible. And I left because I wasn't standing up for that bullshit. And I can he's watching this now. I know he's watching this now, and I don't give a flying fuck.
And
you don't do things like that and get away with it. And
exactly.
The two that did it were stalking us and did stupid videos. The two of them were stalking us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole reason we knew about it was because someone who happened to live in the same area as this individual saw the news article and said, hey, you guys should probably be aware about this. And they wanted to shut her down.
Yep. They asked me to, the two that were in charge, the woman and the man, Americans, asked me to go and ask her not to share it out. And I'm like, no. I said I would to them, but I didn't actually just say, right, do what you want. And then I left. And I don't care what you think.
I'll say this, and I don't know why they're trying to bring us into focus. There's people who have advised against trying to talk about me specifically. They seem like they can still wrap you up in it. Once again, they're trying to pit us against each other. You can see that shit? Mm-hmm. Here's another thing. Why is it that they're uncomfortable with the one guy who would actually step up and try to help them because they had a mental health crisis? Not knowing exactly why that was happening, but why would they want to avoid the person that actually would try to, give a shit?
Yeah.
About the people it works with?
It was, look, I will never, ever even if I was facing a volley of boiling lava, go back to there again. No. It's madness. It's absolute madness what they did. And it's not just that, Tay. When we were there, we did shows. We did a show with Cassius, actually. It was Cassius, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cassius was one of our first big ones.
And they taken the show down. Because we were, what did they say? What was that exact words there?
Well, they didn't like that we were promoting Bald and Bonkers while we were doing that.
No, but they were also good. They weren't very happy at the fact that Cassius wasn't white. Yeah. So it's.
Oh no, they tried to approach Cassius
they tried
saying that they were the owners of the company and explaining the situation. And I even reached out to Cassius. I was like, I don't want to drag you into this fucking drama.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to them. The owner is behind bars.
Yeah. They two really left a terrible taste in my mouth, and I thought to myself, "Oh, wow!" And he's actually trying to start it again with them. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
I know.
Well, good luck with that, because you're going to need it. Because every paranormal person I come in contact with, I'm going to tell them about you.
Oh no, we made sure, especially. The main thing is, the one thing I actually was somewhat agreed on with them was that there were innocent kids involved that are already going to be torn because of who's all involved. And I get that because I've been in that position from the child's perspective myself. I get that. But at the same time, there's any indication that you tried to hide that, even if on the significantly microscopic chance that he was somehow actually innocent, which based on the information we've seen is highly unlikely.
It's highly is going to say that the moon's made of cheese. It looked, I mean, I seen the evidence. I looked at case up and everything. Yeah. I actually asked somebody that works in the kind of justice system. I asked them about it and stuff like that, and they're like, "No, he did it." The one they put, look, saying that he also said to the police set him up. The police wouldn't do that. No, the witness too came. I mean, saying all the stuff was hacked and all that kind of stuff. I actually left me with shell shock. That I did have shell shock for a couple of years after that.
I know. I still have fucking shell shock, and anytime I start feeling like Bald and Bonkers is starting to go down that road that led to that, I'm just like, we got to shut this down now.
Yeah, I cannot stand with it. And again, if you're watching, because I know you are, stop phoning me. I've changed my number. Somebody keeps trying to contact me in Messenger. I don't know who it is. Somebody from down south. I don't know who it is.
I was about to say, is it them or is it the number of porn accounts that you follow?
Well, I wouldn't say it was that. I would say I was looking up life insurance policies a couple of weeks ago because of what happened with my mum and stuff like that. And I thought I might be able to get myself something for like maybe $10 million or something like that, in case one day I'm with Dakota and accidentally fall off a cliff or something like that, you know. No, I was looking up life insurance policies and I put my mobile number in, and Jesus Christ, and all that is holy.
Yeah.
I've had everybody phoning me. Oh, sir, can I get you to do this? And I'm like, no, leave me alone. I actually they stopped because I said I had some, but I've not, and it just stopped. They must not work together.
Yeah, they all run through the same call centers. Yeah, my sister had that. She changed her phone number recently because she was going with a different carrier. And whoever had that number obviously was looking up.
Dakota, where are you?
Major life. Just froze.
It's the CIA, ladies and gentlemen. They took him. See? What have you been downloading, Dakota? What strange things have you been downloading onto your phone for this to happen? He's back seen. Where are you?
Okay, are you fucking with me?
I just brought you back up because you were trying to bring you back up.
I brought myself fuck?
It's not me. It's not me.
Hands up. My hands are up. It's not me. I'm not doing it. I threw the cat out. That was causing shit. I'm well aware of that.
Yeah, it's like you can't talk about MD nowadays. See, it's affecting. See, it's crazy. I'll keep my hands like this.
Right?
Unless you're really, really talented and you can use something else to control your mouse, I don't know. But
It's not that big. Right now, it's starting to get cold. Cold when I have to go to work, and I feel like I'm having a sex change.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It'll soon be the summertime, and it'll be like boiling hot. And you'll be melting, with heat waves and stuff.
Yeah,
you both are glitching out. See, it
you
makes
can't
wonder.
talk about
It makes
UFOs. You can't talk about pedophiles because for some reason it always triggers a glitch.
Yeah. Maybe that's them all putting complaints in. You don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome to put complaints in. This is going out to what, 25 or 30 different destinations. You know what I mean?
We got 20 destinations for the live show. Then we have the others almost 50 plus when it gets transferred over to the audio. So
everything's fake now. The world governments, leaders, everything is no real. Everything is fake.
I know.
It's this country and everything was took over a long time ago.
It is funny that they are pushing. You see so much of this push for like artificial intelligence programs, and I'll admit I've used them. I've tried to make myself familiar with them. So, you kind of keep both as, kind of artistic choice, but as well as so I'm familiar with how it works. So if someone were to present something to me that I think was faked, I can be able to call it out. It is funny that all these AI programs are having such significant developments right as we have all of these major controversies come to light.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, they are purposely trying by design to make everybody question reality. We have all these new age groups saying question everything, and now the other side's trying to say, yeah, question everything. It's not that hard to make shit look fake, and people are too lazy to actually try to investigate these days.
It's shocking how good technology is now. How AI can make anything look real. It's shocking. And I seen the other night, I don't know if you see, is it Nevada that make the chips? You came up and talking about it's a game. It was a chip company that makes computer chips. You know I'm about to bring it up.
It's not pronounced Nevada, but I know what you're talking.
NVIDIA
or something like that.
NVIDIA. Did you see that? And this is a subject we need to talk about next week. I know we've got Iron City Paranormal on next week, but we should talk about this in one of the other shows. Is there robotics? Have you seen that? That AI robotics, and even Elon Musk, he's bringing what do you call it? These robots out for cheaper than a car will cost. They're saying $16,000. Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean,
some of those robots look like the early models of what you would find in the movie I, Robot. I find funny.
Which I find terrifying too, because what happens if somebody hacks that robot to do something to you? Say you've got a stalker, and it hacks that robot to do something to you.
Didn't Pierce Brosnan do a horror movie called Internet of Things to kind of highlight the risk if a skilled enough hacker was just crazy enough, what they could do?
Well, there was actually a news article out today that I seen today that I found actually very interesting. The Chinese have told the United Kingdom, if we hit them, like say for instance we go to war with them, or we do something stupid and we do something against their financial system, right? See all these electric cars everybody's bought?
Yeah.
They can turn them off.
Oh yeah.
Kill them. So that makes you wonder what they can do for all the Chinese made stuff that you've got in your house. Spying on you, turn it off when you're doing stuff.
Yeah, no, the Americans are trying to ban TikTok within the United States because it's selling information to the Chinese
No,
government. Whereas the American companies that they're allowing to prosper are selling information to the Chinese.
no. I think that's a show for next week. We need to definitely talk about robotics and where it's leading, because it's getting serious now. I'm thinking in the next couple of years, man, they've got to see these things walking past my house and all that, carrying shopping bags.
Oh, without
It's
a
going to
doubt.
happen. Yeah.
With the way
And how
artificial intelligence is moving right now, it is moving things at a pace never before seen.
it's like you ever seen the film Elysium?
Yep.
You know, and the people who live in the ring in space, and all the poor people on Earth, and all the police have been replaced by robots. And the guy's sarcastic. The guy's sarcastic to the police officer robot, and it breaks his arm. They've got no like sympathy. They've got no empathy of them, right? Like a normal police officer, be like, all right, I'll let you go this time when you go. Kevin, don't be cheeky to me, I'll let you go, kind of thing. How long before that's got to be like that? If you don't follow the rules.
There's certain police jurisdictions, because of everything that's been going on, who are severely understaffed and looking into it already.
Yeah. Just take New York City, they're talking about getting robotics to police the subway system. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as if New York City subways aren't so ratty enough that the rats down there are different species than the ones that are on the surface.
Oh, have you seen them? They're big. I've seen a program on that. They're huge. I mean, they're like genetically modified. They're like crazy big.
Oh no, it's like whatever's down there has physically made those rats different from the rest of New York.
Makes you wonder what's down there. We should see if we can get somebody that's into this kind of stuff to come on the show. But guys, stay safe, because you never know. If you're ever in Scotland and you say something that doesn't agree with somebody, you might be arrested. How are we going to flirt with a robot? See, that's got to be difficult.
It sounds like Cruz likes to be handcuffed.
Well, hey, can a WD-40?
Hey, no judgment.
WD-40.
No judgment. And there's already people are already trying to come out with sex robots. What are you talking about, man?
Hey, if you're looking that kind of stuff up, but think about it in this sense. WD-40, we squat under the arm, you know, watching you down the road.
You say I'm looking that shit up. I have access to your Ghost Squad Scotland. I've seen this shit you look up.
I listen to a lot of music on there. I don't know if you've noticed that. I do listen to a lot of like Blade Runner vibes and stuff like that. I love Blade Runner. It was an amazing film. You see that Blade Runner Society? That is going to come. That's what it's got to be like one day.
We're definitely pushing it, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all screwed, to be purely honest with you. You know. But ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next weekend. We've got Iron City Paranormal coming on to talk about strange, spooky things. And I think they'll be showing us some videos of their capture and stuff, so that'll be interesting. Do you have anything to say, Dakota?
They have got some interesting stuff, but what day was that on? Now that, before I forget, what day was that on? Was that Saturday or Sunday?
Look at the calendar.
I was just looking at the calendar myself, because your daylight savings
goes forward on Sunday.
Yeah.
And at 2 o'clock in the morning, so it'll no hit you until the week after.
No, we already jumped ahead for us.
Oh, right. So it's Saturday night, Iron City Paranormal.
It's like, may want to double check with them just to make sure times are sorted.
Yeah, I'll talk to them after the show, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope you're not arrested by the robot police and dragged away into a dark, deep void somewhere, you know, screaming.
As if some cops aren't already doing that with some of their ride-alongs.
But
there was only one I ever considered, but apparently she was with us like 15 other cops at the same time.
I would love to get like a police officer to come on and talk about what they think the crime will be like in, say, 20 years' time with the technology is coming out.
Oh, I would
That
love to
would be
get like
interesting.
an FBI. I'd love to get
Mm.
like an FBI analyst or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
What's that? The guy in the chat there, I have cuffs on me daily.
Oh, dude.
Don't you worry. We'll all chip in and buy you a can of WD-40 so as you can have fun with the robot.
Speaking of which, I need to find my key.
For a second, I thought you were going to say you need to find your WD-40.
No, I need to find my handcuff keys.
Ladies and gentlemen, why do you have handcuffs?
Because
Well, in case you like,
relic from my bounty hunting days, dude.
I was a bounty hunter, ladies and gentlemen. He was like, I can see you there now. I'm sorry, I can't see you.
You said
I can't see you as a bounty hunter. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't want to see how I was back then, man. Trust me.
But you're not that
You
old.
don't
You're
want to
still
see.
in your 20s. When was this?
I was like 18, 19.
You. So
I
you
did
were
it for extra
18,
money.
19. Oh
Yeah.
my God. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You get into the bounty hunting career. You know, like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
You know, Dog
know?
has a kid named Dakota, right?
Yeah, I know that. It's like that bounty hunter that's on TV that everybody thinks is real, but in actual fact, it's just a setup. You kind of know what I'm talking about, that young guy in America.
Mm.
He goes on about bounty hunting, but it's all set up. It's all set up. 100% set up.
Yeah.
Gullible
Like-
people.
It doesn't take much. Hollywood's been doing it for years. The gear's just getting a hell of a lot more accessible.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will leave you. Have a fantastic night. And Dakota, I'll see you in the mothership. What have you done? What?
No, just reading some of the chats. Night, y'all. Have a safe week. See you next time.
Thank you.